So that is today's vlog. Just starting it there. So yeah, it's I've got to go off into town yet, so I'll take you along with me as always, and I'll probably talk more when I get to Tesco's car park.
Here we go!
So it's been an odd day really, although it's been like that just recently a fair bit. We've been starting off with a nice morning and then it's going off into greyness like it has done today, and it's starting to rain as well, which it wasn't doing that this morning either. It's been a week's been sort of like getting a bit quieter at work, but I've had some delivery time now and what have you. Went out Friday, and 10 minutes after I'd gone, another customer from where I was going to wanted some more stuff, so I ended up with 2 trips out. But yeah, I suppose what I wanted to really touch on today was this whole thing with using the phone in the car. Now, fully understand it, I support it, you know, I don't use the phone in the car, I don't do it. Apart from this, vlogging, it's, I don't know, I saw, it was MCon who tweeted out a link to the new, well, I won't say new rules, because the rules don't appear to have really changed. They're just enforcing them heavier, and they're imposing greater penalties for it. So they doubled the points, doubled the fine, which, you know, is fine by me. It's, you know, it is what it is. You know, if you're on your phone, texting, tweeting, Facebooking, talking, whatever, but you see, it was always a touchy subject, because obviously they had to go carefully at it, because it's right, it is proven that it is the conversation that reduces your ability to drive, shall we say, or to focus on the most important job in hand, which is driving down the road. And I can understand that, I can believe that, I'll accept that, but obviously it was a grey area, because then that would mean that you couldn't talk to somebody sitting in your car. So basically that was why they said, well, we're going to have to stop them from using phones. And I understand that it is a touchy area. And then you've seen sort of, you know, I remember a news story of a lady getting busted for being pulled up at the lights and taking a drink out of her apple juice or whatever it was, a drink, and she got pulled for it. But then when you read in these posts that are going out now, they're saying, yes, you can eat, and you can eat at the wheel, you can drink at the wheel, you can smoke at the wheel, as long as there's nobody under the age of 18 in the car, and you can vape at the wheel. But obviously they leave that open, subject to the whole dangerous driving part, which you can understand. So, me having a camera in the car, you see, this is where they made it a bit awkward. They've said you're not allowed to use your mobile phone for recording and stuff like that. But then in the same post they're saying that you mustn't be touching the phone at all to answer a call, stuff like that, if it's Bluetooth connected and stuff like that. So is it the act of touching the phone that they're, that's what it comes across to me as? It's the act of touching the device, which is what they say. It is the act of touching the device that you are not allowed to do. So if I set it off recording and drive off down the road, so if I start then talking to the camera, to me this is the way I read it, if I do something dangerous while talking to the camera, or they find out I was vlogging in the car and I did something dangerous or whatever, obviously that's what they're aiming to stop, and I understand that. But then they've also got this 45-degree field of view thing. So by having it in a set area in your windscreen or whatever, then they're saying that you're breaking the law again then. So that means that puts the whole sort of thing of it then in a grey area, because then it's a case of, well, let's say you're not going to use your phone for vlogging, you're going to use a camera. So then it's a case of that camera then has to be mounted in a particular position, cannot be in the way and the likes. Now, you know, I've seen posts before. I think a vlogger got into trouble in America for handling the camera while driving, and I fully agree with that. You shouldn't be handling anything other than the controls of the car whilst driving. You know, it's like the whole, can you change radio stations? Yeah, but if you do something dangerous while you're changing radio stations, and they can prove that's what caused you to have your mishap, knock somebody over, have an accident, whatever, then, you know, it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to say, right, we're going to have no radios in cars, there's no music allowed, there's no this allowed, there's no that allowed. But, you know, with this 45-degree field of view thing, that means that, you know, car cams, dash cams, that means that they have to be in a particular position. You put them in a particular position, it gets more awkward to pick up accidents, what happened in an accident, and that sort of thing. So, you know, by tightening it down, they're just making things a little more awkward for themselves. I mean, you know, in some insurance companies are now offering, you know, hefty reductions for you having a dash cam in your car, you know, so that if and when a mishap went to court, it settles things much easier. It's all, I don't know, somebody needs to sit down. You see, the trouble is the law is still stuck in this old pre-YouTube, pre-technology sort of area, and somebody needs to really kick it up the arse and bring the rules right up to date to match the current day's technology. Can I vlog in a car? If they say that I can put dashcam footage and then just with audio of me talking, then is that okay? But the dashcam has to have been filmed from a set area of your windscreen or whatever, you know, or how big must the camera be? You know, yeah, you could go and get yourself something like a GoPro Hero session, say. The trouble with the session is the audio's terrible. It's not good audio at all, especially when it's mounted to something like a car, and it doesn't matter how flexible that mount is, it does bring the sound through from whatever it's attached to. So from that point of view, you know, even that gets awkward. And the session, I don't think it has a plug-in for an external mic, the new one. I don't think any of the sessions do. You know, the little ones, some of the bigger ones do. Obviously, you can plug external microphones into them. So it's all just getting a bit near the knuckle. I don't know. I mean, chances are, I've got a feeling the position on mine isn't really brilliant. I would say that I need to sort of consider moving it to another area, although where I'm not quite sure yet. It's just something that, you know, I just want to put it out there and just, you know, get you all sort of thinking about it, and maybe even you could find something, you know, maybe there's some kind of post somewhere that shows exactly where you must put a dash cam in your car or something like that. I mean, I know you've got manufacturers' recommendations, but if somebody could find maybe like a legal recommendation of where a dash cam must be, how big it cannot be, and the likes, that would be interesting. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, I don't want a £200 fine and 6 points on my licence. New drivers, of course, if you've been driving 2 years or less, you can lose your licence straight away. So, you know, it's, which I suppose, you know, it's fair comment. It does, there is an element of distraction there. There's an element of distraction in everything. It's how distracted are you, and did you have an accident while being distracted, or they're going to bring in this, they're going to hit you with the dangerous driving sort of thing or whatever, whereby you might have clipped a curb, ran a red light, just some of the more, I won't say mundane because they're not mundane, because they can turn up more disastrous than just as I'm making it sound, obviously. So I don't know, it's all just this, I don't know, I suppose we need the law to come forward and fully clarify this whole vlogging in a car and stuff like that, because obviously lots of people are doing it now, and it's I can see in the future a lot of vloggers are going to get into a lot of trouble for it unless they just stop vlogging in a moving car. It's like right now I've turned my ignition off even though I don't need to because I'm not touching the vehicle. But if I was actually on the phone, taking a call, handling the phone, then I am not allowed to be have the engine running. It must be off. So anyway, it's food for thought for all of us, really. So anyway, I've got to go and get some bits, guys, from Tesco's itself, and hopefully I'll get back later. Things are a bit busy at the minute around the house. I've got a family member arrived, and I haven't had time to catch up with any of my subscriptions or anything like that, so I'm a couple of days behind on all that. So yeah, I'll catch up in a bit, guys. Oh, so tea is on. What dinner doing today? You're probably going to be able to pick up some background sounds from the TV. They like to have it loud for some reason. I'm just, don't know, I'm a bit fed up today really. I don't know why. Weather doesn't help. All the lawns are on the front, they're cut. And I cleaned all the old leaves off the path the other week. Was it last week? Might have been early last week, I can't remember, or the week before, I think. I've still got my back lawn to cut, although it's not really hitting heavy growth yet, but yeah, it's ready for a cut. Main thing I need to do is get on with these trees. I think the big one I'm going to struggle with myself, so I'm going to have to get somebody in with a chainsaw for that, I think. It's got a couple of phone lines running through it as well, which I think I've mentioned before. I noticed Robert Cooper, he's been putting out loads of stuff at the minute, hasn't he? He's been putting out a load of gaming videos and what have you, of him doing the stuff. And it's good fun watching, like, on the Star Wars game. I see he's finally cracked the back of that mission that he's been on with the Hutt mission that he's been doing, where he had to play as Jyn Erso, which I think that had been causing him a few problems really. But yeah, it's but like I say, I've got the wife's sister here at the minute, and she's brought her dog. He's a Yorkshire Terrier as well, called George. He's a youngster and he winds our two up no end. They don't get on with him. He always wants to play, but they don't want to, and that's all there is to it, sort of thing. I've got Fred in here right now, actually. He's just lying down quietly out of the way. Yeah, I've been itching to get the drone out again lately, but it's some of it's down to weather, other things is down to just getting the chance to go out and do it, But I will get out and do it as soon as the weather sort of picks up and I've got better weather all through, sort of thing, especially on an evening when I get home from work. I'll be able to dash out and get a bit of footage maybe. I want to go a bit further afield, get down the coast and stuff like that. I would love to go down to Spurn Point and get some footage there, possibly even fly out over the Humber estuary, because there's a couple of what do you call them? Like your old defences. Sort of to stop the boats coming up during the war and stuff like that. Wouldn't mind getting. I don't know. Not sure. I know one of them is more or less right in the middle between Spurn Point and the Grimsby coastline at the other side of the river. I wouldn't mind getting out and doing that. The only trouble is when you do it from the Spurn Point side, if you hit the wrong end of the year, you've got all the bird watchers, because it is actually a bird sanctuary, is that patch of land, but all the bird watchers jump up and start kicking off and, oh, you can't fly that around here and what have you, whereas it's not actually a no-fly zone. But, when you can't be doing with the hassle of uneducated fools. But obviously I wouldn't do it when it was sort of like hatching season and stuff like that. I would pick, once the birds had either moved on or before they started nesting. So I wouldn't mind doing that. Obviously along this coastline there's been a few wind turbines gone up and stuff. You've got to sort of play it safe and away from them as well. I know there are some flight paths just out off the coast here that you've got to be aware of as well. But obviously, like some of the more stringent regulations don't hit me, as it's for fun. It's not a. I have considered sort of doing my licence and that, but it's the cost of a drone again, and you've got to make it worth your while. It's not. I wouldn't want to just go and do it for the sake of it. I would need to find the time and go and use it for what it's for and actually make money, which I'm not sure really that I can find the time to do it really. So I'm not so sure about that. It's something that's I keep mulling over in my mind, sort of thing. That's just the wife's air mattress. I can hear it creaking. It does creak a little bit. I'm still thinking more and more about changing my car. That's going to happen pretty soon, I think. Probably within the next month or so, if it'll last that long. It's just not worth spending a lot of money on anymore. It's just too shot. But so just watch this space for that one. I will be changing for another large estate. Just imagine, it just comes down to, I suppose, how fast the crunch comes and how fast I get forced into sort of like getting something really. I mean, I'll probably end up just scrapping that one, to be honest. It's not worth much more than that now anyway. It's a reminder for my wife's medication. Well, I've had tea anyway. That's been gone down quite well. Oh, let's get that out of my pocket. So I'm quite stuffed now after that. It was a big pot of dinner, Yorkshire puddings and everything. I don't think I've got to go out again today. I've just got my green bin to put out tonight, which is just like general waste. We also get wheelie wash around tomorrow, so I don't know why the wife bothers paying for it, especially not on the green bin anymore, because it doesn't get dirty. But so I've just come back in here, and there's nowhere else to go. Unfortunately, the wife's gone to the living room to sit with her sister and that, and she's just wanting to spend a bit more time up and about, really. That's the thing. I'm just stuffed at the minute, absolutely stuffed. But there was something I was going to mention, I can't remember what it was. I've still got quite a few reviews and what have you kicking around to do. I can't think what there is exactly, I just know there's quite a few. It's just with the sister-in-law being here, she's taking up the room, and so I can't go in there and do that. So it's just a matter of, I think she's here for the week. In fact, I think she's I think she's here for my birthday tea as well. We're going out on. When are we going out? The Saturday night, yeah. So the day after my birthday, we're going out on the Saturday night. It's the big 5-0 for me this year. So next time you see me on here, of course, I'll be a year older by 2 days. So yeah, I've got a small confession, and that is in so much as that copy of Final Cut I use, it's not a genuine copy. Always had the intention of buying a genuine one, and that will happen around my birthday. So next week I will be getting a genuine copy. The thing was, I originally downloaded the free trial from Apple. Now, for somebody in my situation who isn't using it every day, then a 1 month trial isn't long enough. It's just not. So, I downloaded a copy from a torrent and, checked it was all fine and everything. And, it runs. It's not perfect, obviously, but then very little software is perfect these days. And, I've bought a few plugins over the years and what have you. And I finally just popped it and I just said, right, that's it. If you want to give me anything for my birthday, you give me the money or iTunes vouchers, and I'm just going to put it all into iTunes, and I'm going to spend the money on a genuine copy of Final Cut finally. Yeah. I do like it. It's a nice bit of software. I know it's got its haters out there, but I'm happy with it. It does what I want, and I suppose I've already done the learning curve part of it now. Yeah, there's still bits of it that I could learn, but I've learned what I need to know to do what I do with it, and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I am going to finally have this genuine copy of that, which I'm quite looking forward to, actually. The one thing I need to do actually is I need to start remembering to start working with proxy media, because my Mac's a bit older. It struggles to play HD footage back smoothly while I'm editing. And then once you've finished, then you turn back to your optimized media and you export it, of course. But I look forward to getting that. Actually, it's going to be good. So that's basically what my 50th birthday present is going to be, is a copy of Final Cut. Alright, funding the developers and stuff like that. I do agree. I think Final Cut is worth its price. I mean, it's £300, I think, is a steal for such a powerful bit of software, really. I wished that I had the money before Christmas, because just before Christmas, just before they did the update, it was on, I don't know whether it was on some sort of an offer or what, but I looked one day and it was £230, and I thought, I wish I had the money now, because I know that's going to go back up. And of course, as soon as the update came, it went back up, and it's £299.99. So, but so I mean, that's going to suit me down to the ground. That anyway. What else is there? My dad's going to be going into a home. That's going to be happening over the next few weeks. It's getting too much for my mother to handle now. It's she needs some time to herself now and some of her own time. She's no spring chicken, of course, and she's ready for that time for herself, basically. He is slowly getting worse. So he's, like I say, he's going to be going into a home. He has some understanding of it, not fully, but he does. Of course, it was his birthday just, was it last vlog? Yeah, the last vlog. He's on the February the 25th, so it was either the last one or the one before, I can't remember now. Got a dog tiptoeing around outside the room, I can hear the claws on the laminate. But there was definitely something else I wanted to mention, and I know that once I finish this vlog and upload it, I'll remember what it was I wanted to say, and I just cannot remember for the life of me what it is. There was I did want to say, I mean, this isn't what I was thinking, but I did want to say thank you to all the people that are using my Amazon links that are underneath the tech videos and that to buy things, especially here in the UK and in America. There are a few continental ones that could come up occasionally as well. The only one that never really spent was Canada, and then that one's gone now. Because if you don't sell anything within a set amount of time, they take your affiliate linking away. I mean, I can reapply any time, but you know, it was just something I tried, so I put in the Canada one. I mean, I tried some of the other ones, but I never really got anywhere with them. I got refused on one of them, and I can't remember, was it France or Italy? Can't remember, but one of them refused me once over. I don't know why. I never bothered putting it into Google Translate to work it out. So, but anyway, guys, it's I'm going to call it a day here. I'm ready to sort of get done and try and settle down for the night. I've done some of me washing up and what have you. I've still got a bit more to do once the dishwasher's finished the load it's on with. So anyway, guys, do take care of yourselves. I will see you all in the next one, and I'll see you next week when I'm a year older. See ya.